The iPhone 5 was a much needed screen boost for the iPhone back when it came out in 2012, but the iPhone 5 has long been discontinued and support for it has dropped with the passing of time. But the year is 2020 and not long ago I used this as my daily driver, so is it still usable or completely obsolete? Hey everyone, it's EverythingeeB here, and in today's video we will look at the iPhone 5 if it's still worth using in 2020. Is it worth it or completely useless? I don't know if any of my viewers are watching this video on an iPhone 5, but if there is any, let me know if you still use this phone to this day, or if you have upgraded. Personally, the first iPhone 5 I ever saw was shortly after it came out at my local Apple store when I was 5 or 6, and I remember it being the coolest thing ever. It had a really unique design, and it looked nothing like my parents' plastic phones they had at the time. I remember wanting it so bad, but I couldn't get one until last year, when I had saved enough from my eBay job to get one. I kept it for a year until app support started to run out, and Apple started retiring iOS 10's SDK, then I bought a 6S. But this video is not to talk about which phones I've used, the video is to talk about whether or not the 5 is usable in 2020. Let's talk about the design. It really holds up really well in 2020, considering it's going to be reused in a few months with the next iPhone. It has square edges and an aluminum unibody finish, which was the first time it was used ever since 2007. The square edges don't really make it ergonomic to hold without a case. It has a 4-inch display, so the phone is very small and easy to hold, which was good for me when I was in school because any other phones just keep falling out of my pants when I was wearing track pants. The power button is on top of the phone, which I know some people won't like, and the volume buttons are round, not flat. The phone came in 2 colors, white and silver or black and slate. The black and slate was really neat because it was sold for 1 year before it was redesigned on Facebook. I don't have the black and slate version, I have the white version, so it looks even better than my 6S. Let's talk about the battery, which was never even good to begin with, and after a few years of use, probably worse than it was better. These phones had a tendency that their batteries would die prematurely, and Apple fixed it for a while, but a couple of years ago, the phone was marked obsolete by Apple in Canada, so you won't be able to get them to replace it. You will be lucky if you get a day's use out of these. I had to recharge my phone 3 times a day just to get through the day. Luckily, if you buy this phone, the battery is $10 to replace and takes 5 minutes with no prior experience. So if you do buy this phone, you'll be able to get full battery with this simple step. Let's talk about the cameras next. The rear shooter is 8 megapixels and definitely will look, well, not that great when you take pictures of it. In decent lighting conditions it will look okay, but with low light it will resemble a potato. The front camera is even worse, coming at 1.2 megapixels. It is really bad for selfies, and I'd rather use the back camera for selfies. Still, this was 2012, and the important thing then was that it even had a camera. Here are some pictures that I took, and they don't look that great, but they can pass. It's an 8-year-old phone. Video at 1080p at 30 FPS with no slow-mo option, just time-lapse. The video probably won't look that great on the phone, so I wouldn't rely on it to record videos for my channel, unlike the 6S. Let's talk about the last area with this phone, which is the hardware and software side of things. The phone has a 1.1 GHz dual-core A6 CPU, which is 32-bit and a gig of RAM. The maximum iOS this will run is iOS 10. App support is not very outdated, still having multiple recent features on things like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, etc. These apps were updated for iOS 10 almost a year ago, so you'll see recent features, but you might be missing some things, for example dark mode on Instagram. And as time goes on, these apps will keep getting older and missing the newest features, and eventually they will be obsolete, just like the phone itself. So, should you still buy the iPhone 5 in 2020? The answer is no. The only thing I could think of that this would be good for is using 32-bit versions of apps that have not been updated for years, and there aren't a lot.